What's up, chat? We are going to be reacting to Ludwig's curse, building something too big. Ludwig is actually going to react to this. The original video is by the YouTube channel GOLFCART, so we're just going to jump right into it.
The curse of building something too big. Ludwig Ogren's story.
For a kid who grew up dreaming of the spotlight.
Why do you have access to this? This is like from my high school play. Chat, this is genuinely from like my high school. I think it was from Mr. HBHS. It was like a Mr. High School event I did.
Becoming the top streamer in the world, #1 by every metric. It wasn't just a win, it felt like destiny. Like the internet gods reached down and said, yeah, you. Ludwig broke records, reinvented formats, and for a moment, it felt like he was untouchable.
Thank you for this award.
In just 30 days, he became the internet's golden boy, stacking achievement upon achievement, building an empire that seemed destined to rise
30 days is crazy.
forever.
I thought from then on, I was gonna be the biggest streamer in the world.
But there was just one problem. The game of social media is broken. Think of it like Jenga, where every
There's a problem? I thought this shit was a glaze fest.
success,
No!
every viral hit, every milestone adds another block to the tower. And the higher you go, the closer you are to collapse. You see, Ludwig wasn't just chasing the views. His entire self-worth was measured by them. And that's the trap you see over and over. Creators climb to the top, crown themselves kings, and then burn out trying to reverse the fall. But Ludwig realized something that most don't. If you don't like the game you're playing, change the rules.
Dude, I did do that. Wisdom.
Okay, so just a quick note here. We started working on this video about a month ago, and we were almost done editing it right around the same time as the GOLFCART stream. What happened there and how certain things were handled was definitely disappointing. But with that being said, this video isn't about that. We made this—
God, no.
Got him. Got him.
Dude, you know what was sad? You know what was sad? And I actually don't blame him at all. But at my birthday yesterday, I think there's a clip. I didn't realize how pervasive this clip was. But there's a clip of somebody asking me if I had regretted banning Mango. And I said something, I think, too aggressive to the point of like, I feel zero guilt. And I think a screenshot's been traveling around about this. And Tarek came up to me at my birthday party and he was like, zero guilt. And I regret saying it because I actually, I've been thinking a lot, like, if I don't ban Mango, does C9 still drop him? Or is he, you know, banned for melee events? Or would they still ban him just based off of the clip itself? Would they see the clip and still ban him? I'm not sure on that. And I don't think I can ever know. I mean,
Valid.
make an assumption. You could
Valid.
make one as well. I'm unsure on it. So I felt bad about that. But yeah, I regretted saying that. Because I feel like you don't control what clip of yours gets plucked and sent viral. But you do
They would for sure still ban 100%.
deal with the ramifications of which ones do. And I don't think I care if random people have a bad opinion of me. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. But it was sad when, like if Tarek were to think that I were, I don't know, like robotic or something like that, like too, like devoid of empathy in the situation. Because I do feel bad about it. I don't think on hindsight I could or would reverse the decision of banning, but maybe how I did it and what I said outside of it, I wish was better. Yeah, it did not help that I was hungover, but all right, we'll continue the video. Let's get those numbers up. Okay, and we have a first-time chatter. Look, man, it's okay. You can say that.
This video before any of that happened, and after a lot of debate, we decided to not shelve it because we still believe in the story that it tells and we think it's worth sharing. But if you are looking for videos that address the GOLFCART situation directly, I'll leave a few linked down below in the description. But this video really just focuses on Ludwig's story before any of that, so we hope you can still enjoy it. The story of Ludwig really begins in 2005, and during a 5th grade—
Dude, why do you have these pictures? Genuinely, why do you have these pictures?
The story of Ludwig really begins in 2005, and during a—
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh? I think I'm playing some Yu-Gi-Oh game.
fifth grade class presentation, he debuted a parody of the novel My Brother Sam is Dead, in which he cleverly retitled My Brother Slam is Dead. When he read one of his favorite jokes aloud, the classroom burst into laughter, and right there in that moment, the spotlight turned on. The dopamine hit, and he was hooked. From that point on, Ludwig was everywhere
Dude,
he
why
could
do
be.
you have any of these pictures? Did this actually happen? Yeah, I made a parody called My Brother Slam is Dead 2.0. And I've told this joke before, but in it, Slam's mother was trying to get Slam to do the dishes and take a shower before bed, like do his chores, because I think that was part of the book. And so my whole joke was like Slam from his POV. He was like, so then I did the dishes and took a shower at the same time. And the at the same time delivery crushed. It sent a good mental image. And that was the joke. I don't remember anything else from the story, but I do remember the joke.
Singing in the choir, co-starring in plays, leading pep rallies, and hosting.
Nice scarf. This was
From that point
soccer.
on, Ludwig was everywhere
I have 3 businesses that are out.
where he could be, singing in the choir,
I didn't know I had a
co-starring in
scarf.
plays, leading pep rallies, and hosting school events like it was late night TV.
All right, up next we have the interview portion, where all contestants will be lined up and at random selected with the spotlight to answer a question.
Okay, yeah, this is wow, fuck. This is when I decided I wanted to be a late night show host. Is it Jubilee? No, they have like a Mr. High School. Like my high school is HBHS, and so there would be a Mr. HBHS, and I was the host of
Happy birthday,
Mr.
man.
HBHS. And then I later went on to compete in Mr. HBHS. Is your school all white? 98%, yeah. I live in New Hampshire, or I lived. It's not a very diverse neighborhood. Not really one of its main markers. My town had about 9,000 people in it. Did you win?
How's it going?
I don't think so.
Good. Ben, I'm gonna throw you one and I just hope it doesn't go south. What is your favorite website? We are in school, right? Shouldn't start with a P.
His video show
That's a good one. That's a good host. I get a little bit risque, you know. I get a little bit risque on the on the school programs, you know. We like to push the line a little bit.
platforms gained momentum, Ludwig brought his passion online. He launched a YouTube channel under the alias The Zany Sidekick, experimenting with Call of Duty gameplay and commentary.
Let's get a little revenge. Suck it, Max. You just got owned.
Fuck, I actually can't watch this video. I can't watch this video.
Crazy, because I have videos just like this from like 12 years ago. Crazy.
I genuinely can't watch this video. I don't want to watch this. I would fucking rather sit here and rewatch fucking GOLFCART shooting myself in the head than watch this. I can't, dude. This shit fucks me up. Oh my God. You just got owned. I can't. You're still as cringe? No, I'm 30 now. I'm very wise.
When Vine exploded in popularity in 2013, he quickly adapted, crafting 7-second skits that perfectly showcased his sharp wit and impeccable comedic timing.
Okay, there were 6 seconds, right? Am I getting gaslit? Everyone knows there's 6 seconds. They were 7? They were 6. Weren't they 6? Am I getting gaslit? Fuck, I feel like I can't tell. It's always been 7? Oh my God, old age. This is how it starts.
Straight out of a stripper's butt crack.
After high school,
That's such a bad joke.
Ludwig left New Hampshire behind and headed west to Arizona State
Wait, that's my friend Jen. We have the same birthday. That's great.
University. It was a new
This is, I guess if I wasn't white enough already, this was at a Dave Matthews concert.
state
Fire.
with new faces, but the mindset stayed the same. Try everything. He was rejected from fraternities, passed over by clubs.
That's not true. This is not true. Hold up. Okay. All right. We've done a good amount of research, but, you know, we're a little bit off. I did not get rejected from a fraternity. Okay. The way the fraternity process goes is they basically groom freshmen. I don't think I'm wrong to say this. They groom freshmen by inviting them to fun parties and supplying them with a good time.
Somebody said social reject. That's crazy.
And if they see that you're a good fit, they give you a bid. Then you have the opportunity to accept their bid,
This is true.
and then you become a pledge. You do a 6-month pledge period, and then you become a full-fledged member. Okay, the period of the pledging and the dues differ per frat, but that's the general process. I got a bid. I received a bid from fraternity Kappa Alpha, okay? Because I had one friend from high school who was in the frat. I said no to the bid. I said no. I think being in a frat, Kyle, I know this. Okay, Shiny Juices thinking about guys. I still think, and I thought
Chat says
being in a frat
cap.
is cringe. It just felt like once I found out that like, hey, we're like, you know how we're hanging out on a level playing field? We're now going to put you down at a lower, like basically a caste system and treat you worse. And you're gonna have to pay us money. And then you'll be on our playing field. And that felt very weird. It felt very fake and inauthentic. So I just said no. Also, the frat that I got a bid from was founded by Robert E. Lee, the leader of the Confederate Army during the Civil War, which I thought was weird too.
Comedy groups, a cappella groups. He kept showing up, but they kept saying no.
I did get rejected from the acapella club. That was real. No, I just fucked that one up. I forgot the words to Bulletproof. Or, what was it called? You turn it down, but I can't get hard no more. Titanium, yes.
First time the stage felt far away, so he built his own.
Hey guys, welcome to Tempe Late Night. I am your host, Ludwig.
That's Kyle, chat. Chat, that's Kyle. That's Kyle in chat. Look, that's Kyle.
A bunch of misfits, all turned out from that same ASU comedy group, got together and formed a rival. They called it Tempe Late Night, a scrappy little comedy group with an audience of 0.
Okay, this was all the doing of Forbes. Forbes was like me. He had got rejected from everywhere, but he was a senior, and after getting rejected, became vindictive and then made his own club. I didn't have that sort of petty chip on my shoulder power to do all that. I just joined it. He would basically hang out at the auditions and then see who he thought were good and then take the people who got rejected from the other clubs to join.
Together and formed a rival. They called it Tempe Late Night, a scrappy little comedy group with an audience of 0.
Sex is like Bob Ross. It's not premature ejaculation. It's just a happy little accident.
Look at our crowd, bro.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people showed up. That's 13. Better than 0.
Man.
That's
what I
good.
imagine a 15
That's
viewer stream would be
good.
like.
That's good.
That's not 0 people. Nah, it's not. And to be honest, it grew. I think towards the end we had like 80-person crowds.
That's
It was
money.
slow, but by the end of the year, Tempe Late Night began selling out shows, packing out seats. It had far transcended what the rival comedy show had ever achieved, taking the throne of the top comedy group on campus.
Briefly, very briefly. We did have a small stint where our shows
Low-key hate how he downplays himself like that. Low-key.
were doing better. I think Tempe Late Night died. We had like a 2-year run. We had a fucking awesome 2-year run. And then it died. They rebranded. I forget their new name now. Tempe Underground. But I don't think Tempe Underground is as big as Bear in Mind. But I'd have to go back. I haven't been in a bit.
Now, throughout all of this, Ludwig's dream was always the same. Late nights, a live audience, and his name in the lights. Think Fallon, Kimmel, or Letterman. The career of his dreams was to host a talk show. But somewhere in the middle of his junior year, fate threw a wrench in his Hollywood blueprint. It came in the form of a plastic relic from 2001, a Nintendo GameCube disc titled Super Smash Bros. Melee. What started as a casual hobby turned into a full-blown obsession. He'd spend infinite hours learning the mains, learning how to ledge lash. He discovered competitive full-blown obsession. He'd spend infinite hours learning the mains, learning how to ledge lash. He discovered
It's a minor mistake. Ledge dash.
competitive
I
melee
also can't ledge dash very well.
tournaments.
I played Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's not a character that ledge. This is a minute point. When you touch the ledge, you have a set amount of invulnerable frames. And characters can drop from the ledge and then wave dash onto the stage and use those invulnerable frames to attack. So basically you do have an invincible attack you can put out.
Nerd.
Jigglypuff is so slow and floaty that if you were to ledge dash with her, you would have basically like very few invulnerable frames. And the execution of it to do it tight is just usually not worth it. So it's a decent option, but not really
Somebody said
too
nerd.
common.
Nerd.
Welcome to today.
Somebody said, okay, Unc. Nerd. That's cool.
On this little platform called Twitch, and he started watching, then studying. He got better than his friends and decided that wasn't enough. He wanted in, so he hit the road.
Did they talk about you getting in trouble for skipping comedy for Smash?
My man's.
It hasn't come up. I was juggling 3 worlds in college. I was juggling my comedy group, my Smash obsession, and my evil ex-girlfriend, and trying to have all 3 work at the same time. And little did I know that almost all of them would fail along the way. Evil's an exaggeration. She just cheated on me.
Local tournaments, hotel bar rooms, folding chairs, and CRTs. This was the minor leagues of competitive Smash. And here's how it worked. Once you got knocked out, you had 2 choices. Pack it up or pick up a mic. And Ludwig didn't know much, but damn could he commentate.
Just waiting for Axe to get this 3-1.
It really started at Runback 2017. He called matches with an infectious energy, cracked jokes that actually landed, and filled every silence like it owed him money.
If a quiz is a quizzical, what's a test?
And somewhere between the losers bracket and the after parties, Ludwig began to grow a name for himself in the Melee community. As his presence grew, so did his circle. He started running with some of the big names in the Melee world, guys who were already super well known in the scene, people like Slime. And that mattered, because for a while, Ludwig wasn't the guy. He was friends with the guy.
I love Slime. Have you met Slime?
I've met Slime. I'm a big fan of Slime.
Okay, yeah, he's a legend.
Now, remember Slime because he's going to be important later. But meanwhile, Ludwig had graduated college and made the leap, fully moved to LA, ready to start his first big boy job, running the website for a wine and spirits magazine. For a few
Damn, they got some fucking pictures, bro. Slime has hair. Guys, yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys might not be old enough, but Slime first went bald on my stream. We did a You Laugh, You Lose, loser shaves their head. We shaved his head bald and he never got hair again. Like, that was it. He had hair. We did the YLYL. He went bald, never came back. I mean, he never grew it back.
few glorious days, things were great. He wore button-ups, he showed up early, he felt important. But just weeks later, he was...
Well, I'm sorry, hold up.
Ready to start his first big boy job, running the website for a wine and spirits magazine.
I've never showed up early to anything.
For a few glorious days, things were great. He wore button-ups, he showed up early, he felt important. But just weeks later, he was fired. Something about screwing up the site and maybe lying on his resume.
I moved to
I did not lie on my okay. Whoa! All right, a lot of accusations. I did not lie on my resume. I did not lie on my resume. Okay? Nope, I did not do that. It was a very small mistake. It was a very small mistake, and to be honest, what the fuck was my stream room back then? This is like significant other poison. This is girlfriend poison right here. Wait, you know what's cool? That's a Cowboy Bebop poster, isn't it? Wait, isn't that fucking cool? My first stream room, I have the Cowboy Bebop poster, and now 6 years later, we have a Cowboy Bebop merch drop, an official merch drop with Cowboy Bebop. That's cool.
Play for this job. I don't have anything.
This would become a recurring theme over the next few years. A weird, wobbly balancing act between this Melee thing and paying rent.
How do we finesse this guy to get jobs at NBC?
Yeah, we're both writers. We need jobs.
Slime and Ludwig had quickly became a fan favorite duo in the Melee scene. Their chemistry on commentary was electric, and after a guest spot on Slime's Bad Melee podcast, Ludwig caught the bug. He figured, hell, why not try out this streaming thing on his own?
All right.
We didn't pause on it, but I do have questions about a flag that was in his room.
161.
And honestly, his first few streams went surprisingly well. A dozen or so loyal Melee
Just
heads would
curious.
tune in, keep the chat alive, and hang out for a few hours.
A dozen might be extreme. I think I had 5 people my first stream. I had 5 people my first stream.
That's pretty good.
And it was like a average viewership of 2. And it was mostly
Normal.
Dr. Battle. And I got so fucking drunk by myself. I think I like almost threw up drinking like cheap wine. It was an embarrassment, to be honest.
Not bad for a guy figuring it out on the fly, but Twitch remained on the back burner. Every time Ludwig landed a new job, Snapchat, Best Buy, or wherever, streaming took a backseat because dreams are cool, but rent's due on the 1st.
I think the timeline is skewed. The timeline's quite skewed here. The only job I ever had while streaming was like 2 weeks at Snapchat, and then my job at the vape company. That was pretty much it. I'd quit Best Buy before ever streaming, really. Yeah, I think actually maybe I worked. No, I don't. Fuck God, no, this is what 30-year-olds do now. I'm like thinking of timelines. Like anyone gives a fuck. Gang, you know what? Whatever he said's right. It's the truth. Think of the 5 get the shiny juices.
Still, the itch never left, so he made a deal with himself. Stacked $10,000 in savings, enough to float a few months of full-time streaming. That was the goal. And after landing a head of marketing gig at a vaping startup called IQ Vapes, Ludwig started shoveling cash into that fund. But late
This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. The first 6 minutes of this is horrible. It's horrible, bro. Owned him, and then it's just showing off the iPod vapes that I was the head of marketing
You
at.
just got owned.
Don't ever fucking play that clip again, Tim. If you love your job and you want to keep it, you're just not going to play that again.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking.
There was a melee event in Las Vegas, Scar versus Fendi. Big names, high stakes.
Guy, I bet on it right now.
Ludwig was on the mic and it was lightning in a bottle. The stream popped off, the YouTube VODs went viral, and the entire melee community took notice.
No, he did. Oh,
Okay.
I honestly did not realize how big the Smash Bros was for his career. That's actually pretty cool.
Hey, hold up. I did so much for this.
Crazy. I had no idea.
Actually, like truly the biggest fucking mogul move I've made in my life. If you don't know, Scar was a commentator and Fendi was a commentator. And Fendi was a more upcoming one and Scar was more of an OG one. And Scar used to be quite a good player, but you know, I kind of fell off. Like he had a kid and he was less focused on all that. And I think they had like a little Twitter beef. And then Evo was coming up and Melee was still at Evo back then. And then I had the idea, because I think people had thrown around, like maybe they should do a Salty Suite, of doing the Salty Suite at Evo, renting a penthouse suite and setting up all the tech there. And the best part is I didn't do it with any of my money. I did it all with the Reed's money, which was the company that Scar and Toph had that I was basically running for them. But it wasn't a hustle because it was a charity stream, and you can see we had to donate with the Reeds. We did raise a lot of money. It did bring a lot of attention to the Reeds. I just made one.
Somebody said, damn, cheap wig.
Small ask for myself. The only thing I asked for is that the stream would be on my Twitch channel. Because Scar and Toph didn't really stream much.
Big play.
And we didn't have like a Reed's Twitch channel.
Big play.
So that was really the only thing that I did for myself. And I remember the week before the event started, because it was getting so much hype on Twitter, I was getting like double my followers. I had like 300 followers. I'd gone to like 1,000 followers. And nobody, like I wasn't even going live.
W scam.
People were just following in anticipation for the event. I don't know what the event peaked at CCV wise. I think it was in the thousands. But it was kind of awesome.
Then came the Hotels.com commercial that featured Ludwig, which was like kind of random, but whatever.
What's up, gamers?
Ludwigs again.
This was random. I actually still don't know why this happened.
Yeah, but I feel like back then when you did stuff like that, it was like, looking back, it's going to feel cringy, but I feel like at the time that was peak.
I still have no clue why this happened. I genuinely don't know. They had no business making a commercial with me in it, but to be honest, I was pumped. All I got was a hotel room, which I was really happy about. They gave me a fruit bowl at my hotel room.
No, I'm a professional gamer.
Then came the roast of Hugo Gonzalez, another Melee legend. Ludwig took the stage, mic in hand, zero hesitation, and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly, Ludwig stopped caring about the 9 to 5, started prepping his stream work during work hours. He showed up late and clocked in mentally somewhere else. Eventually, in early...
As you should as an aspiring streamer.
February 2019, he was fired. The savings account was still shy of the target, and the timing, a disaster like always.
Dude, life was so sick back then. This is actually so sweet to look back on. Because it really did feel like I could just fucking work put my heart into shit, and if I worked hard enough, I would reap the rewards. How accurate is all this? I mean, it glosses over. I did fucking crush at this roast.
Stage, mic in hand, zero hesitation, and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly, Ludwig stopped caring about the 9 to 5, started prep.
I somewhat stopped caring about my no, I actually fully stopped caring about my 9 to 5. It also wasn't a 9 to 5. It was like an 11 to 5. Because I was a full-time salaried employee. But I only stopped caring after they hoed me. I've talked about this ad nauseum. But after I tried to do this whole marketing campaign and they rejected it, the FaZe Banks quitting nicotine campaign, that's when I clocked out. It wasn't because I was successful. It was because I felt like I couldn't be successful in my job. Oh, look, Tim found it. Scarver's Fendi peaked at 6,000 viewers and had a average CCV of 3,000. And I had gained 1,000 followers from it. That's crazy.
Prepping his stream work during work hours. He showed up late and clocked in mentally somewhere else. Eventually, in early February 2019, he was fired.
I was fired.
The savings account was still shy of the target, and the timing, a disaster like always. But the walls were closing in. The gun was pressed against the back of his head. If
Kelby. The difference is it was a really good idea.
Ludwig wanted to become an entertainer, it was now or never.
So starting today, I have left my job and I will now be streaming full time.
The energy is absolutely insane, chat.
On twitch.tv/LudwigAugre.
In his first full month.
Isn't it crazy that I got a tattoo for 1,000 subs? And nowadays, like a streamer like Jason the Ween has a 50,000 sub goal to go to the country of Japan. Like, oh no, you get to
I'm gonna do both.
go to Japan.
Bro, get tattooed on stream, 1,000 subs, 50,000 subs, go to Japan. Cooking.
Guess we'll have to sub up for that one. It was 30K subs on 50. My bad. My bad. That's reasonable. My bad. 1,000 subs for a fucking tattoo. I still have that shit on my body.
Full time on twitch.tv/LudwigAugre.
In his first full month as a streamer, Ludwig really just stuck with what he knew. Super Mario, Pokemon, and other closely related games. Day after day, he went live.
Okay, this is a small note, and maybe this is a nitpick. I hate when people say the game, and the game that is shown is not the game. It's a small nitpick. Otherwise, enjoying the video.
Began to build a bit of a following. By the end of the month, the stats were honestly pretty solid. He streamed for a total of 145 hours, averaged 251 viewers, and made a little over $2,800. A great start at his new job. And now from this point forward, I'd say there were 3 big booms that really skyrocketed Ludwig's online career.
Boom! And $2,800 a month. That's not bad, but
that's cash. That's cash.
It's a fucking pay cut. 2,800 was a huge pay cut on hindsight. I was making 60K at my vape job.
First was in June of 2019.
We have 2 off-limit things you guys aren't allowed to talk
what?
about.
60K.
1, chest hole. 2, the pimple, okay? That's it.
It's ringing.
60K to sell vapes is crazy.
What the chat?
Cutie Cinderella was a fellow Twitch streamer who at the time was actually a bit more well-known.
There's a flag
and
again.
as you longtime fans may already know,
I'm just
day
curious.
remain close friends. Now, let's be clear. This
What a line. To this day, they remain close friends. If you're a deep, hardcore fan, you would know we remain close friends. Yeah, to this day.
stream wasn't a viral explosion moment, but it was the spark, the start of a pivot. Ludwig began shifting away from purely melee-centric content and leaning into a wider range of ideas that showed off his personality and charisma. Story times, over-the-top reactions, and monumental series like Letting Chat Spend My Money and Try Not to Laugh.
I can never wear this in public.
The summer of 2019 was a huge swing in momentum.
I think I have worn that in public.
Try Not to Laugh.
I can never wear this in public.
Of course I come fast. I got fish to catch. Amen.
The summer of 2019 was a huge swing in momentum, and by December, Ludwig had cracked over 3,000 average viewers and amassed more than 125,000 Twitch followers.
I've literally gone up 100 viewers saying nothing, just sitting in the just chatting section looking all cute as hell.
That's crazy.
Want to break into cybersecurity but don't have experience?
Buddy really chose Misty over Ash. That's... Hey, you do you.
Not just for Ludwig, but for content creators across the board.
The breaking news, stay at home. That is the order tonight from 4 state governments.
Is this a curse? Is a curse coming up? Oh, is this a curse? Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. I feel like it's coming in pretty close.
COVID sucked, there's no doubt about it. But while the world shut down, the internet lit up. Twitch didn't just grow, it exploded.
Oh yeah.
Tripling overnight. And Ludwig, he was strapped in and ready to ride the wave.
The climax.
His moment came with PogChamps, an online chess tournament hosted by chess.com that turned Twitch into the world's nerdiest coliseum. 16 streamers, names like XQC, Moist Critical, and of course Ludwig, duking it out for a $10,000 prize pool and digital bragging rights. PogChamps caught fire. Overnight, it
Oh shit! Smalland, thank you for the raid. Happy birthday, old man. Okay.
Happy birthday, old man.
Okay, how old is Small Ant? 29 years. May 3rd, 1996. Set a reminder for May 3rd. Set a reminder for May 3rd, 2026.
1996.
I want to be reminded about Small Ant being an old fuck. An old son of a bitch. I can't schedule reminders. Set a reminder for May 3rd, 2026. Sorry. Is it the Small Ant birthday thing? He's an old fuck. Okay.
Became the event on the internet. Ludwig got knocked out of the top bracket early, sure, but the real show started in the loser's bracket.
You want to do a little side wager? I'll give the 100 subs
your
you beat
free
me.
month?
Two things. First off, I don't have AARP. Second off, I did not lose and drop to the lower bracket. This is wrong.
Games caught fire. Overnight, it became the event on the internet. Ludwig got knocked out of the top bracket early, sure, but the real show...
I threw. I might have lost on my own merit if I had tried, but I think I for sure would have won. I threw. This is fucking true. I realized that there was a chance I could win the lower bracket or I could get last place in the upper bracket. And I thought it was cooler to win the lower bracket than lose the upper bracket and get last place.
Show started in the loser's bracket.
You want to do a little side wager? I'll give the 100 subs if you beat me. Oh, easy money.
He clawed his way to the semifinals, where he took down XQC and then hit the grand finale, a face-off with Moist Critical.
XQC is so bad at chess, it shocks me. Because I think he's smart and I think he's good at video games. I don't know if it's like an attention thing or what, but he's bad at that game. He's not smart. I think you guys think he's not smart. I think look, to be clear, he's dumb as bricks in a lot of areas of life, but he has a mind. He thinks.
Over 72,000 viewers tuned in live. It was by far Ludwig's most watched stream ever, smashing his previous peak by over 56,000. He lost the final in Game 3,
That's
but it didn't matter
nutty.
because Ludwig was becoming a household name.
Until.
I am Ludwig, Knight of the Moguls, fighter for the free.
See, this is people ask me, do you feel 30? And it's hard to answer that question because, you know, it's just a day in actuality. You know, it's no different than, do you feel different waking up today than you did yesterday? Probably not. But if you're to zoom out way big, I don't think I could put myself into a Knights of the Templar suit, put on Skyrim main theme.
I get it.
And yell a speech now.
I get it.
I think as a 30-year-old man, it would feel too weird. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that.
That's big cap.
What do we stand for? Love, life, and subscribing to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/LudwigAugren.
From there, he latched on a breakout.
Never mind, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Drop a fucking subscriber.
I'm saying,
outreach,
bro.
A little read, a little plug, call to action. That's easy.
Friends like Among Us kept the content flowing with Cutie Cinderella and started rolling out.
Jesus Christ, that is not my color.
New segments, an original series that turned his channel into a goldmine of viral moments and inside jokes. Every week there was something new, something shareable, memeable, unforgettable.
Yeah, shirtless 10-year-old in my room. Woo!
But it wasn't just the content; it was the grind. From July through December,
I think there was context that we're missing on that clip.
Ludwig streamed like a machine. Out of the 183 days, he was live for 175. That's only 8 days off in 6 months. And it paid off. By the year's end, he had cracked 1 million followers on Twitch and 1 million subs on YouTube. 2 platforms, 2 huge milestones, and 1 relentless creator. Then came February, and that's...
They didn't look so British.
2 huge milestones and 1 relentless creator. Then came February, and that streak ended. You see, Ludwig had planned a quick vacation, a
Cooked.
quick visit with family back home, and a ski trip in Maine. Time to chill, relax, reset. But on the first night, things went sideways. His appendix had nearly burst. Emergency surgery, the whole 9 yards. Everything went fine, thankfully, but he was forced to take a few weeks off. And when he finally returned, something was off. The numbers dipped. Viewership.
Dude, that was actually probably one of the worst weeks of my life. Not because, like, I had the physical stress of the surgery, which is, like, never fun to deal with. And not even because, like, I lost subs, like, whatever, who gives a shit about that? But I was bedridden in my childhood home with my childhood dog, Sophie, and she was also on her deathbed. She was, like, super sick.
Depressing.
Like just riddled with cancer. And I was like so like physically torn down. And you know when you're physically torn down, you're so like emotionally vulnerable. I probably cried like 2 hours a day every day. And what I would do to pass the time is I watched all of Attack on Titan. And I was crying at shit I just had no business crying at watching Attack on Titan. Like straight up everything that came out of who's Lil Blondie's mouth?
You've got a big new website idea and the team loves it. Instead of taking months to build it, why not just use
Armin. Everything that came out of Armin's mouth would make me cry. Even the commander leading his army into battle, that killed me, bro.
Ship slid. Not catastrophic, but definitely noticeable. Maybe it was the fear of going back to a normal job, or maybe it was ego. But either way, something inside of Ludwig snapped, because what he did next didn't just bring the viewers back, it made history.
Boys, today, for the first time ever, we are going to do an uncapped subathon.
So for those of you not familiar with Twitch or streaming in general, a subathon is a special kind of marathon live stream on Twitch, where the length of the stream increases every time someone subscribes to the channel. On Twitch, a subscription, or sub, is a paid monthly support tier, generally costing about $5, but it gives viewers perks like ad-free viewing, exclusive emotes, and badges, plus it directly supports the streamer financially. Now, typically streamers put a cap on their subathon, meaning no matter how many subs roll in, the stream ends at a set time. But Ludwig, he didn't bother with the cap. His stream would keep going for as long as chat kept feeding the timer. Here's how it worked. Every new sub added 30 seconds to the stream, and when he first hit go live, the clock was set at 30 minutes. That's it, half an hour. Just a few minutes later, the timer had already climbed to 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 35 seconds. Quick math for you, that translates to 193 subs and roughly $965 in just minutes. For the next 31 days, Ludwig lived on camera. Every moment, every mundane detail of his life was shared with tens of thousands of viewers. He gamed, he cooked, he worked out, he showered in shorts, thank God, and he slept. But even when he slept, the stream didn't stop. Every time Ludwig went to bed, he'd wake up finding the timer even longer than before. 30 hours, 40, 50.
The thing says 60 hours, which seems a little high.
By day 10, Ludwig wasn't just streaming. He was dominating the internet, the most watched man on Twitch, and all he was doing was living his life. After 2 weeks, the subathon...
I do need to add a slight correction to the perhaps revisionist history. I was the biggest streamer on Twitch for just the duration of my subathon. My subathon was halfway through March to about halfway through April. If you look in the month of March, XQC was a bigger streamer. If you look in the month of April, XQC was a bigger streamer. But just in the month that I was doing the subathon, I was the biggest streamer. It was a very narrow window. I have about 30 days out of the entire history of Twitch's existence where I was the biggest streamer in the world. But that's where I got it.
Bro, watching him downplay that just, oh my gosh.
Grown its humble beginnings, and with no end in sight, Ludwig and the team...
I feel like there's, I don't know, he wants somebody to say he's humble, but the downplay is, it's just crazy.
decided to cut the time added per sub in half, from 20 seconds down to just 10. And yet, the timer would not die, even when Ludwig stepped away, leaving the
Actually, that's a third.
stream in the hands of his friend Slime. The audience only grew. Slime hosted chaotic trucking simulators in full Bass Pro cosplay. The boys ripped for hours, and it was so stupidly fun that viewers were more hooked than ever. By early April, Ludwig's subathon had crossed into uncharted territories. Donations spiked, viewers rallied, and eventually Ludwig and the team decided to hard cap the stream at 31 days. And because of that, a new goal emerged: to break the record. On April 13th, with the timer no longer extending and tens of thousands watching, the number ticked upward. Ludwig had officially become the most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time. The last few hours were surreal. Tension gave way to nostalgia. The race car bed was destroyed in celebration. Donations poured in, not for time, but for charity. Ludwig pledged over $350,000 to causes like St. Jude's and the Humane Society. Then, as the timer hit 0, Ludwig sat quietly in front of his camera. No grand finale, no gimmicks. Just a salute and a screen fading to black for the first time in a month. The subathon pulled over 283,034 active subscribers, generated millions of hours watched, and launched a new format that many would imitate, but few would ever match. It was a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and Ludwig knew it.
It was sick, huh? It has been, I would argue it has been matched a few times. I think Iron Mouse subathon has surpassed it. Kai's subathon. I guess it is just a few times though. I do see a lot more subathons. Subathon 2. I don't see the point. I think what I did was awesome, and I think I've generally had a philosophy of like do some awesome shit, then move on and do some other awesome shit. I'm not really a fan of just repeating something for the sake of doing it again. I know that's dumb sometimes. Like, it would just work. I know that. But like usually I want to try something new. Yeah.
The thing no one tells you about blowing up online is what comes next. Everyone's ready for the rise, the subscribers, the headlines, the attention, all focused in one direction: you. In the content world, most creators only get one act. You blow up, you ride the high, and eventually you fade. It's nothing personal, it's just the nature of the game.
Here's what, dude, the rise is so awesome though.
Bro, that's sketchy. There were some crazy creators in there that I haven't seen in a minute.
The rise is so awesome. They don't talk about how awesome it is. It's fucking awesome. You feel on top of the world. You feel like everything you've ever dreamed of is worth it, and all your poured in hours is seeing a return, and life cannot get bad. It's so sick. And then life keeps going, and you're like, fuck. And then it keeps going, you're like, damn. And then it never stops.
Happened. The subathon ended, and I got 283,000 subs. I was the most sub streamer. Bunch of media attention around it. I had the highest viewers I've ever had, 200,000 people watching live at one moment. The most subs anyone's ever had ever. I was like, dope. I cried from joy. And obviously, like, for that month, I was like the biggest Twitch streamer. And I thought after that, I was like, I made it. Red carpet, all right, paparazzi. I thought from
I guess I've told this story a lot.
then on, I was gonna be the biggest streamer in the world. And I wasn't. I felt.
Make more tomorrow than you did today with advanced
Come on, come on.
sales and
off drastically, like crashed down to almost less than I had before I even did the subathon. I had the biggest fall off anyone's ever had, in fact, on Twitch. I went from 280,000 subs to 0, which no one's ever done.
But Ludwig wasn't.
Shout out Kai and Iron Mouse. They have both had a bigger fall off than me. Appreciate them taking that off my shoulders.
Straight to 0?
It was a
straight to 0 though.
It was a big burden to carry. They have lost more than 283,000. I think Kai lost 700,000. He damn near tripled me.
Interested in being another character in that game. Instead, he decided to take the controller and make his own.
Post subathon, there was
Crazy
also a
stats.
moment where your Twitch contract ends.
Yeah, the subathon had kind of wrapped up, and the contract. We keep using the fucking shoulder raise.
Contract was ending, and I started to talk to Twitch.
and we chatted. It didn't feel
like Twitch wanted me as much as I thought maybe they should. Maybe self-righteously I thought like they should want me. I'm the most subbed guy. And I started to rethink if I wanted to be on Twitch.
Dude, I didn't shower before this interview and I regret it every time I look at it. I don't know what's going on.
I would still have viewers if I was bald.
No, you would not.
Yeah, people like me because I'm witty and I'm bilingual.
Yeah, so am I.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah? What language you speak?
American Sign Language.
Prove it.
Thank you.
Everyone knows that.
Cat.
That was kind of impressive.
Father.
Oh,
You know what poop is? Huh. It's pretty much the same one.
Yeah, it's just like a different color.
Yeah. Just want to take that home?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ludwig didn't see his YouTube deal as a platform.
Not in this car. Cinema. Yeah, I actually that video is kind of fire. That video is kind of fire. I gave my friend Christian. I moved him from New Hampshire to LA.
Cinema.
And he works for me now. He's like my childhood friend, and I gave him my purple Jetta, so he drives it around now. And I just drive around my Vespa for the most part. And he had no idea why the car was purple. Aiden told him like last week. He thought that I just liked purple cars. And he never questioned it. And I was like, no, there's a whole lore. I had to paint it purple. It was part of the video. I do like the color purple. It's probably a little bit loud for my taste though.
From Switch, he saw it more as a blank canvas. Not the kind you see in a museum where the final painting is already a perfectly crafted Mona Lisa, but the kind you use when you're about to watch a Bob Ross how-to.
So it didn't actually blow up? Yes, that one did. There was 3 cars. There was the red car, there was the purple car we blew up where the engine is removed, and then there was a third purple car that we drove around at the start of the video. But you have to have an engine removed to blow it up, and so you need 2 cars. It's easier than having 1 car and removing the engine.
Because you don't know the first thing about painting.
YouTube, I mean, they make you feel like you're having drinks with your buds at the table. And so talking with them more and more, I started to feel better about it.
With YouTube backing him, he suddenly had the freedom to try anything, and that's exactly what he did. He wanted a space where he could talk about whatever he wanted. No chat weighing in live, no stress of getting banned on his main channel again, and somewhere he felt comfortable uploading videos that would help him in creating content.
And this is the first time I've ever said this, but the reason that I created this channel in the first place is because I thought that I was going to start uploading videos on a different channel than the channel that I was live streaming from when I started my YouTube contract. And what it started to develop into is this channel became a place where I honed a skill that I was incredibly bad at, which is offline recordings.
Every Mogul Mail upload was a surprise. There was everything from life advice to personal updates to commentary about creator slop.
This is awkward.
Do you regret going to YouTube? Not even a little bit, to be honest, because I think multi-streaming is just it's just very powerful when you have an audience on multiple channels. Like iShowSpeed is multi-streaming. And I think if I never had a YouTube era, if I tried to multi-stream, it would do very bad. But like I have equivalent viewership on each. Like right now, for example, we have 11,000 whatever people on Twitch and 11,000 whatever people on YouTube. It's like almost 50-50. It's almost damn 50-50.
Nice.
And I don't think that'd happen if I didn't have 3 years on YouTube. Say Valkyrie was right. I'd never say it to her face. You trashed multi-streaming when you came back to Twitch. Yeah, I was probably wrong on that one. You're going to learn something about me. I'm incredibly confident in every decision I make. That doesn't make the decision right. It just means I'm confident in a wrong decision. But it doesn't mean I'm not willing to admit I'm wrong later and change my actions. And now we multi-stream. But you don't love us as much as Twitch chat?
Kicking TikTok? Question mark?
I don't love YouTube chat as much as Twitch chat. Yeah, that's because after I end every single YouTube live stream, one of you motherfuckers goes into the comments and says, "Oh my God, I got here just as it ended." And I've had that for 4 years. And it's like, okay, I get it. I've had that comment every fucking stream for 4 years.
Because this is 21 Savage, who just released an album with Drake, scamming Aiden Ross out of thousands of dollars when he's worth eight something figures.
Dude, Mogul Mail was kind of fun for a period.
That's wild, bro.
Mogul Mail was fun for a period.
Crazy thing to do even if you're not rich, but it's just extra levels of crazy when you are that rich, that famous, and also in front of 100,000 people.
At the same time, he was giving away pieces of the empire that he'd built throughout the years, and he wasn't handing out pieces in charity, but in loyalty. Earlier that year, Ludwig and his friends Nick, Aiden, and Slime started the Yard.
I had an idea. We get our shit together, and we make a podcast.
I like the fact checking by the mods. Yeah, I think it was a good initiative, but I don't know how valuable it was in the sense that I don't know how many people actually looked at it or cared about it, but it was just a fun way to record content because I just never record content like that.
So, what about calling it the Yard?
Bring back Mogul Mail. I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary to bring back. I think the issue is it's a waste of energy. Like, outside of views and money, which are cool, that's great. It was me reading drama every day to try to be updated so I could inform people on it. And then when you watch the videos,
I feel like that would get draining after a while, though. Like, I guess at first it would be like very interesting just to like have like a topic, like to keep things relevant, like through you as a creator. But I feel like it would just get toxic, and I would just get sick of it.
it's as useless of information as you can possibly have. Now, is it a fun thing to maybe watch 15, 20 minutes during a lunch break? Sure.
Yeah.
You know, you watch some slop, you move on, whatever. But like, especially when it gets heavier and there's like a YouTuber or streamer accused of harassment, assault, whatever, and then that's what it's about, and it's like, okay, now I'm spending all day researching that. It's like, I think I just enjoy my life more when I'm only watching Dodgers baseball in one piece.
That's kind of like that video that went viral because of Chris from Mr. Beast. Oh, I mean, all that stuff happened. And so you have all these creators that talk about like creator drama or like what's, you know, drama within like streamers and YouTubers, and you have something crazy like that pop off. It's like, who wants to be a part of that? Like, I feel like some people have the thought, it's like, oh, I have the platform, I need to address it and talk about it. But honestly, like, that is just a terrible feeling to like, the awareness is going to get out there. Like you already have like I would say mid to like low tier creators that are going to talk about it. And then Twitter is going to obviously talk about it. And like, I just feel like I wouldn't want to put my name in that. But I mean, if you're like, unless you're like a coming up creator, like, and you're going to get your name out, that makes sense. I get it. But like top creators, people get mad at top creators, but it's like when celebrities talk about politics, it's like, you know what I mean? No, thank you.
And then my job is just separate from my job. You know, I don't like the idea of trying to learn everything about every drama to contextualize it for other people, because then that becomes what I'm thinking about. And I don't think it's very valuable. Now, the one thing I miss from Mogul Mail is more candid off-camera life updates, you know, to be able to like say my opinion on stuff.
Okay.
Well,
okay. I don't know.
That's good.
I like that a lot.
That's a good.
I like the aspect of like the personal updates, but like I like to do reacts. I like to play video games and stuff like that. But I also like do my own personal updates through like personal vlogs, because then I can take you with me and like update you on like the personal stuff, and like especially like on my fitness journey where like I'm trying to like lose weight, get in shape, you know, be an active father, stuff like that. Talk about like my 9 to 5 and then transitioning to a content creator and trying to run a clothing brand, like, and showing everybody like what I'm doing and the steps in it. Like I feel like that's fun because then you can actually create content, and you have to like, you know, set up the camera angles. You don't have to be like too strict about it, but you're like using the camera to make, you know, good shots, and like you actually talk about like real life stuff, and then going in and like making some edits, you know, nothing too crazy, but still like putting effort into it, versus like going on a live streaming for like an hour or two and then cutting like certain parts out and then maybe some jump edits. I don't know, but I find that fun. For me, that's fulfilling.
You like it? There. You did great.
How do you do this all the time?
You did great.
Another good idea out of Ludwigs.
I don't know.
How do you always do it? How do you always do it? Just do it. Let's get started.
Yeah. All right.
The yard was his way of saying thank you, because for Ludwig, those three guys were more than just friends. They had been there before the spotlight ever found its way to him, and instead of leaving them behind, they sat down in a couple of lawn chairs, turned on the mics, and talked like the cameras didn't exist. And it popped, with every episode getting hundreds of thousands of views and a Patreon with almost 59,000 members. The yard was printing more money than Ludwig knew what to do with, so splitting the near $250,000 a month only felt right. It wasn't just a podcast, it was profit sharing disguised as a hangout. But Ludwig didn't want to just make things, he wanted to enable others to do the same, to help creators whose ideas were bigger than their budgets.
I started a company called Off-Brand with the idea of making...
Dude, this is a horrible gaming experience. How do you...
Fire.
Tell me one?
Do I making events for not just myself, but other creators?
Off-Brand Studios was officially
I remember when this came out. I remember this.
launched on September 27th, 2022, with big expectations for the future. Now, event production is no easy task. The logistics, live problem solving, and massive behind-the-scenes efforts make it a constant challenge. Lucky for Ludwig, he had experienced employees lined up at the door. There were multiple people staffed from his own company, Mogul Moose, and even Beyond the Summit, the same production company that he worked with throughout his entire career.
I just can never wear these pants
company,
again.
Mogul Moose.
Like, what are these pants? It looks like you painted black onto my leg.
And even Beyond the Summit, the same production company that he worked with throughout his entire career. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beyond the Summit was a production company that played a huge role in shaping the culture of esports. They held events for games like Dota 2, CSGO, Rocket League,
Oh my gosh, thank you for the 10 gifted you Forla.
and of course, both of the Super Smash titles. It was known as a community-driven company that cared equally about the fans and the players, but with the esports community taking a tumble, they were eventually forced to shut down in early 2023. But Off-Brand wasn't trying to be Beyond the Summit. Its goal wasn't to just host gaming tournaments, it was to challenge the norms of live streaming. For example, XQC's gaming show Juiced. Juiced was a game show where contestants would compete in games of wit and athleticism to win the final prize, which was basically to not get juiced. It wasn't a brand new idea, but for streaming, it was. And sure, the actual event was a little scuffed at the beginning, but for it being Off-Brand's first one, it was considered a success. Riding the success of Off-Brand,
Juice was kind of fun, I think. It had some good episodes in there.
Ludwig's mindset was to do one thing: take streaming to places that couldn't even be imagined.
What's chess boxing?
The coolest sport ever, dude.
What?
It is one round of chess, and then you switch for one round of boxing, and you alternate until somebody wins by checkmate or knockout.
The internet was split.
That's so
one half
funny.
eager with anticipation and the other laughing, but both sides.
Chess boxing is crazy. Bro. Oh my god. Checkers boxing, Connect 4 boxing, Monopoly boxing, Clue boxing. Bruh, let's go.
Sides ended up tuning in, with the stream getting 315,000 peak viewers, close to a full 100K more than his month-long subathon. The thought of the event was so far-fetched that it shouldn't have worked, and depending on how you look at it, it didn't. The chess boxing event lost close to $150,000 of Ludwig's own money, but it wasn't about profit, it was about what was possible, and that same thought process persisted through every event.
This was the coolest event I've ever been able to do, and I hope it was worth your time.
From the Streamer Games, a multi-day competition that felt as if the Olympics had a YouTube channel.
We won Ludwig Streamer Games! Okay.
Didn't they do that in Logan Paul blew his hammy in a race? Didn't that happen? Am I tripping?
Hey, everyone's gonna call it rigged. It's not rigged.
To the Creator Dodgeball Tournament.
It wasn't rigged, I'm just an athlete.
It became, evidently clear that everything Ludwig did had to be one thing: different. And for a while, that's exactly what Off-Brand was.
Somebody
a
said
successful
rigged.
production company behind
It was
multiple
rigged.
events, many of which pulled a substantial viewership. But by late 2024, Off-Brand began to eerily resemble Beyond the Summit.
And that's the end of the video. Everything went well. Okay, guys, good video. Shout out.
In more ways than one. Cracks started to show in a business model that proved nearly impossible to sustain. Production costs exceeded what most creators were willing or able to pay. In the end, the combination of an unstable industry and financial mismanagement led Off-Brand to officially shut down on December 13th.
You have to live and learn. Honestly, like doing this in your 20s is crazy. From just starting from a passion. I've been in a similar situation with a t-shirt printing business, so I get it. I get it. Maybe not like super high production, big money like this, but you live and you learn, chat. You live and you learn.
2024.
Unfortunately, yesterday we had to announce that we are closing down the production side of Off-Brand.
In a space obsessed with being bigger, faster, louder, Ludwig's secret weapon is that he's never pretended to be anything that he's not. It's not talent. Plenty of people are talented. It's not discipline. He streams maybe 4 hours a day.
My ideal dream is...
Okay, buddy. I have some 5-hour streams in there. Okay. I got some fucking 5-hour streams in there, pal. Let's relax on that one.
That I stream 4 hours, 6 days a week, right? I have done maybe 4 hours, 6 days this month. Okay, and the month is damn near over.
It's not luck. He's made his fair share of mistakes. What makes him stick out among a crowd is how little he hides. How he not only shares his wins, but also his losses. He made the Yard's Patreon numbers public, helped creators' ideas come to life, and paved the way for others to follow. At the same time, he's admitted to hating his second channel, Mogul Mail.
I don't like talking about these things. It's not like a big mood lifter for my day.
Dude, this streak was fucking horrible.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like getting mixed in the drama. The Chris Tyson situation. Oh my God. The sketch situation. Other people are going to talk about it. The Dr. Disrespect stuff. Like other people are going to talk about it. And like, yes, you're going to get views and dude, personally, I wouldn't want to touch any of that stuff, honestly. Cause it's going to come out. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. This streak sucks.
I get why he feels the way he feels about it now because of what it turned into.
So bad. I remember this. Oh my God. It was crazy. Fucking Dr. Disrespect into sketch, into Ava Chris Tyson, into Cody Ko. That was horrible. That was horrible.
A big mood lifter for my day. In addition to not wanting to make stuff that I don't think is good.
Those views though, but who gives a shit? I'm gonna fucking die. I'm 30. Who gives a shit? Why does it matter? Does it? It's like, I don't know. What's a good example? It's like being like, it's like making a Coco Melon song and getting 500 million views. And like inside of you, you think you might have the potential to be an amazing artist. You know, like fucking Mozart is deep inside you and you're stuck in making Coco Melon songs. And everyone's like, dude, but your Coco Melon shit's getting 400 million views. And you're like, who cares? I want to make something better.
Making stuff that is incredibly heavy has made it harder.
When his company Off-Brand eventually was forced to close its production branch, he didn't shy away about why.
So you're not Mozart? Yeah, I feel like I'm more of a Tchaikovsky than a Mozart.
All you wanted was to add a column while planning your next sprint. Maybe it's time to move to Monday Dev. Here are 5...
Or maybe a Beethoven.
The issue was less that events don't make money, but more so that the appetite from creators for events of that scale at the cadence it would need to be would not allow people to be employed full-time.
He's been brutally honest about his fears of parasocial relationships with his fans.
You shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching.
I agree with that 100%. I think people watch streams and they get really attached. Jakura for life, motherfuckers. I'm saying, Jakura for life. I hope that shit's real. I hope that shit's real. 30's been good though.
it.
A lot of creators lean into parasocial relationships, acting like the chat is just one of the boys, and if they ever met in real life, that they would be the best of friends. But in actuality,
none of your content creators, your favorite ones, including me, are your friends.
He pushed the narrative that you don't really know your favorite creator, and that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like even coming on this show,
I have opinions. I have thoughts on that. Smaller creators and like, I feel like things have evolved. I feel like streaming is going to be the next way people meet, you know, off the internet and in person, and they're going to make friends like that. You know, I feel like there's a gray area there that we could talk about.
Could promote social relationships if I'm being too real.
Yeah.
And then they're like, damn, Ludwig's so real. I actually like him now. And then they give me their money. And they're like, I love you. And then they're my DMs, Dr. K.
Even on stream, he isn't playing up an online.
I like Dr. K. We should chat with Dr. K again, bro. I haven't done a chat with Dr. K in a minute. We've hung out offline sometimes. I think that was probably the last time we chatted. It was offline. I think we got like lunch.
Character. Some days he shows up with no plan, no prepped content, no setup bits that have to be executed at a certain time. He'll play a random game, react to other creators' videos, or ask chat what they want to
Really? Yeah, we've hung out like a few times offline. I think we've done like 2 in person.
do. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it could be less than 3.
You look great for 30. Okay, I see what you're saying here, and I appreciate the thought of that comment. Just understand that actually hurts more than if someone said you look like shit.
Other times it can be hilariously entertaining, but it's always authentic. Because unlike so many creators obsessed with maintaining the illusion of control, Ludwig seems fine admitting that he doesn't always know what the hell he's doing.
So how are you finding fulfillment in other areas of your life then? You said your girlfriend, you said your job, helping out other people. Let's get down to like some specifics of what you've seen make a measurable difference on your happiness.
Seeing everybody at the office gives me a lot of joy, and making a cool show and then doing the picture at the end where we all group up. I've become an old man in some ways. Like the things that make me the most happy in my day-to-day outside of like personal relationships is like
cup of coffee,
getting a coffee, walking and going to watch the sunset. I think that I find peace in those things.
Yes,
At the end of the day, if anything bad happens in life, someone else had it worse. And I think that you can just look at the positives.
If I believe that I'll fall off and everyone will fall off,
I'm going to say that that's what successful people will preach to you. But when you're down bad and you don't have it as good, you don't have those thoughts. You have like hunger and you're in the process, or you're just down bad, just like self-sabotage. I've been on both sides of the fence, so I can talk about it.
then why have ego in viewership? Why not just ride it out as best you can for however long the ride lasts?
Okay, so you're just assuming that things are going to fall apart at some point.
Buddy's spitting bars and he's over here just, yeah.
But it also sounds like falling apart doesn't really sound like falling apart. Like things will end, but there's like a connotation with falling apart that you don't really.
Somebody said self-glaze.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how it'll end. It could end very gracefully and beautifully. It could also be you know, my terabyte hard drive of me saying slurs that gets leaked. Whatever it is, less gracefully. But I think either results, it would work out.
That was a joke. Good video. Good video here. Releasing this on his birthday is kind of crazy. Big Ludwig fan here. His comedic timing and transparency is what keeps me coming back, even though I don't agree with some of his opinions. Bro, Lud said he went from 280K subs on Twitch to 0 is hilarious because it was him moving to YouTube. Close friends, bro knows the OG memes. Great video.
Does Ludwig know that he's too big? Very humble guy.
Yo, look, it's Armand. Ludwig has so much lore on the internet. The information is condensed really well, and I like the timeline and the topics you chose to highlight. It made me realize I've attended every one of Ludwig's events in LA. My man. I think it's cool that you are lifting another person up instead of what is often seen on this platform. Actually true. It's funny. You know who is a clean example of that is Sunny V2. He used to make videos uplifting other creators, and they did what worse comparatively, so he switched to only negative videos. This is a sweet video. I think the video was very good, and I'm flattered you thought to make one on me. I don't always know what I'm doing, and I mess up a lot, but I hope that I continue to be worthy of effortful video essays like this in the future. Smiley face. Colon 3. Is colon 3 for millennials?
I will say that the original video is titled "The Curse of Building Something Too Big." Whether it be building something too big, a curse, a downfall, every successful person, and I've heard this from other successful people, they're always gonna go through adversity. They're always gonna fail over and over and over and over. The only difference is that they continue to build. They keep building. As generic or corny or whatever, it's just being consistent and enjoying what you do. It just doesn't work, try it a different way. Keep going. You know, if it works and it ends up just, not working after a while, you just got to keep pushing through, which Ludwig is doing. So, nonetheless, GG's.